Hello, friends. My name is Julie, and I am one of Christian Assembly's Kingdom Partners. And it is a privilege to be able to send this message to you today from Kenya. It is a rainy afternoon here, and there's thunder and lightning, and it's a really stormy day. But I hope that as you receive this message, that you are encouraged and that you have hope for today, that God is reminding you of his love. Our reading for today, it comes from Song of Songs 2. And this book is it's an interesting book where different people have different thinkings on what's the meaning. It's love poetry, and there's a relationship between a man and a woman described in great detail, and the tension and the longing, and there's a lot of descriptions of one another, and there's intimacy, and there's descriptions of gardens, and kind of a reminder of what God intended initially when Adam and Eve were created and in the garden, and they were naked and unashamed, and they were able to be vulnerable and with one another in a way that there was total freedom. And so there's descriptions of some of that, and then there's the tension and the longing of desire to be with one another. Other people who read this book, they say that it's potentially about God and his relationship with Israel. Others say it's about Jesus and his relationship with the church and the bride, and how much love there is. However you read it, I think the main thing is that it's about love, and it's about love that God has created, whatever that relationship is going to look like. But in Songs 2, starting in verse 4, it's the female who's speaking, and she says, "He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love." And it reminds me of a song that I sang as a child in church that was about this verse, and it went something like, "He brought me to his banqueting table, his banner over me is love. He brought me to his banqueting table, his banner over me is love. He brought me to his banqueting table, his banner over me is love. His banner over me is love." So when I sang it as a child, I always experienced it as God and his love over me. And then when my son Ryan was in the hospital, and he was so sick, and there was a banner of hearts that were sent from friends from CA. We were in Los Angeles, and people had prayed, and they sent us a banner that had originated from Kenya, and it was this beautiful fabric. But we hung it in Ryan's room, and it reminded me again of this verse of God's love that is over us, and God's love that is secure and unchanging and good and kind. And I think it's very possible that this verse is actually about a man and his wife and their love, but I also think that throughout the Bible it talks about God's love for us that is unchanging and faithful, and that he's good and kind, and that his love is deep and wide and is beyond anything that we can really fathom. And so today, as you read this, read the chapter as love poetry, and you can interpret that how you want, but be reminded again of the love of God that is for you today, and that our identity is mostly grounded, and that we are the beloved. We are loved by God, and that it's solid and unchanging, and can give us hope in the hardest of times when when we're tired and afraid and unsure of what to do next, hold on to the love of Jesus, because it is for you and it is with you and it will carry you. So be encouraged, friends.